welcome to the Galaxy Man Show. So for my guest of this week is this incredible artist known by the name of Len Connor. He's created incredible music. Get behind more inspiring artists like Len and his music. I'm about to have a chat with Len and invite Len onto the show right now, onto the Galaxy Man Show, to have a chat with Len about his music and what he's created, music-wise. So everyone please make Len welcome. And here's Len on the Galaxy Man Show.
Hey, Len, how's it going?
Man, what's good? How are you?
Really good. I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to join my show. It is such an incredible pleasure having you on the show for today.
It's an
as a
honor
guest.
for me as well.
For people that don't know Len, if you can give like a bit of backstory about yourself and then like introduce yourself, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
Sure. I'm originally from, like most people mistaken, they think I'm exactly from New Orleans, but I'm not from New Orleans. I'm from Marrero. And that's like New Orleans would be considered different parishes. So New Orleans would be considered Orleans Parish. Marrero would be considered Jefferson Parish. But I'm from there. We had to relocate after Hurricane Katrina happened in New Orleans. And when we relocated to North Louisiana. So it was such a culture shock. And like the first thing that got me like wanting to get out of my shell, you feel me? It's like being a new kid in a small town. It's not like what you're used to, but it's like, okay, it grows on you and it becomes home, you feel me? So we lived in North Louisiana for like I'm going to say like a little bit over 15 years. And we finally moved to like further north now. So we're like close on the state lines of Arkansas and Louisiana. So we're like right there. And like it was just growing up, just me and my brother, it's like, and then being in a town where it's like everyone knows each other. Everyone is basically like grown up together. They were in kindergarten together. You become like those guys over there, or it's like, oh, those are the New Orleans guys. But like I told you, it's like a big misconception. I'm not actually from New Orleans, but that's what they are going to identify you with. And it was like, it was lonely. So music was a thing that actually helped me like get out of that. You feel me? Like, it's like, oh, they know that you can make music. You're somebody around here. So it's like, I did that for like a large amount of years, just like trying my best to get booked on shows or even paying people to like perform at their like speakeasy or something, or like finding myself this entire time, but within music. So music has literally been like growing up with me. So it's like I've been doing this like actually recording music professionally since I was like 7. So it's like living in New Orleans, I was the youngest kid to perform with the Louisiana Mass Choir. So it's like I have that background, and it was like I've been in the choir recording with like Kurt Franklin, Yolanda Adams, like big gospel artists in the States. So it's like transitioning from that and making my own music, it was like a struggle, because it's like, what type of music will I make? And then being influenced by just the Black community and the culture that surrounds that, and like being a real eclectic kid, you feel me? Because I'm not actually from a bigger city. So it's like my parents grew up listening to like James Brown, and like my mother's a little bit from the 80s. So she's like, she grew up on Run DMC, Sheila E., like Sade, like she's like very eclectic. And my dad's like listening to everything from Tupac to Tracy Chapman. So it's like I have this space. Music will I create for myself. And I grappled with that for years. For years, I just like, it was very hard for me to like step out of that shell. And then I was always a person who didn't want to disappoint people, for lack of a better word. So it's like that image of me that people have in their heads. It's like I tried my best to live up to it, whether if it was a good positive thing or whether it was a very wrong thing. Like, hey, that's not me at all, but I'm still okay. I'm gonna lean into your version of me that you accept. So doing that, it like kind of sort of fragmented the music, and it's like, well, I have to walk in this world, but I also have to walk in this world. But it's like none of it was me. So I'm creating things to feel accepted in a sense. And I'm trying to like not give too much of myself within the music. But this is all in the beginning. It's like once we come to the later stages and I become an adult, 21, like I have my first kid, and it's like that changes a lot. You feel me? You start seeing like being such a young kid and having a kid, it like shocks you even more into life, and it's like it throws you out there. It's like, oh, you don't even know what it means to pay bills, but here you have to pay bills. You like the first time they gave me and my kid's mom laugh about this. The first time they let us bring my oldest son home, I was like, are you guys sure? Like, do you not, do you guys not want, like, to do visits or something? Like, they're just letting us take him now. Okay. Something's wrong with this. Like, because I'm a kid at this point. It's like, I'm doing everything you would think a 21, 22-year-old man is doing. But I have a human life. So that makes you wake up and it makes you grow up a lot. But I'm sorry, man. I'm just,
No,
whatchamacallit, I'm
you're
babbling
good.
about my life.
No, it's all good. So we'll dive into the questions now for you. So you created incredible original songs, and
Hmm.
for the first original song I'm going to mention is "Feel Something." Like,
Hmm.
what was it like creating "Feel Something"? Like, and what's the meaning behind this song?
Man, it's like I hope you have like a moment, because it's like a big ideal and it takes a lot to distill, and it's like feel something could mean, it can mean a lot of things for anybody who listens to it. Mainly for me, it was like I'm on a time constraint inside of my head and I want to like finish this project because I'm very, very project oriented. So I was like, man, I need something to finish this. And then I just started playing that beat because it was like uh, alternative rock type beat that a producer sent me. And I was like playing with it, and just those words in the beginning of it, it was like such a struggle to get those out. It's like I had the melody, but it's like, okay, what words sound best here? So when I finally, oh, hello, rain, boom. But
Yeah.
I had to show love to the big brother. But
Yes.
it like it took a lot, even though it took me like usually it would take me like I'm gonna say like a half an hour for most songs. That song legit took me like an entire hour just getting it formatted the way I needed it to sound. And it became something special. I know something is special when I can't stop playing it over and over after I create it. And it was like, for me, it's like that song is about a lot of things, but it's like getting from a dark place and getting to a realization of like some relationships aren't good for you. And it's like, okay, you can start something in a place, right, where you're not even in a good place, but you're starting something new. And it's like, for a lot of people, that can be like the wrong decision to make. It's like, hey, how about you clean up the things in your life first before you try to jump into this? But then jumping into that, you can only see 2020 through hindsight. So looking back on it all, it's like, well, you see that this person is not the right person for you. And it's like you're getting to a place at the end of the song where it's really dark. So it's like you just want to feel something. And then once you get to that place where like I feel something now, it's like it's like it changes a person. Like those interactions, like realizing everything that happened within those past relationships, even if you've left those past relationships or you're like stuck with these things for life, looking back on it, you can like take the good out of it, you can take the bad out of it, but then it was there for you to feel something. It was there to be a life experience.
So on
I don't
to
know if that really made sense.
yeah, no, it can make complete sense. So on to my very next question for you. So you've also created a song called "Feel Good to Be Alive," which is an incredible title. What was it like creating this one, and what's the meaning behind this song?
It was like it's that same concept, like feeling something, and it's like you get away from that dark place, and it's like you can finally breathe. Like, have you ever just like been over the hump, and like once you
Yes.
got over the hump, it was like I survived that. Like so many people told me that that was supposed to take me out, and I was like, I even saw it about to take me out, whether it's whatever we're dealing with, because for me it was a myriad of things. It was uh girlfriend stuff, and like being with a woman who actually didn't love you, but you guys are making all these reckless decisions, and on top of that, drugs, and like giving into all those things. And then once you get to a point of growing, everybody, you gotta like be thankful and understand that everybody doesn't get to that place of past it. Like a lot of people can't get past it even today. Like we're watching people, some people are homeless on the street. Like they just, some addictions, whether it's people, whether it's substances, whether it's alcohol, like some people just can't. But thank God, it's like I had a lot of wake up calls. And then when it got to those wake up calls that were ultimately going to take me away from my children, is when I finally like, no, I have to discipline myself now. And it's like getting to that song is like being in a studio and like it was like that realization point after like making that song, and it's like, oh freak, I made it over the hump. Like I actually did it. It's like I understand these mistakes, but I'm handling these mistakes that I've created better. I'm like, I see a path to the future. So I don't have to feel like always in dread. Like a lot of this music was created from like being in dread, like, and being like, I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, but it seems like it's only going to bring darkness. And then getting away from all that is like life. That's why I keep saying it's like me growing up with the music. So it's like at some points, like at the beginning stages, it was like I'm telling you about all my naivete, and I'm throwing that in these other personas inside of the music and these different concepts because I don't know who I am. Then getting to a point where you figure out who the hell you are, and then knowing that just means I don't know anything about me, but I'm here figuring it out. And the music has been my outlet to put that out. Like, feels good to be alive is that breath, it's like, man, like I won, but I haven't won yet, but it's like I can see the future now. There is hope. And for a long time, it's like most people, like we all just lack hope, like a large amount of us. It's like, and we don't look forward to anything. Like some people don't look forward to like being with their teenage kids and being surrounded by them at a dinner table. Like everybody doesn't feel that way. Like some people need, and I hope that song is there as a representation to tell people like you can get through anything, because it is a sad song, because he's telling people how he's alone, or I'm telling people I'm alone, but it's like I'm not lonely. It's like the main meaning of the song. It's like, okay, you're alone. You got past all this damaging stuff that could have killed you, and now you're here alone. and you were able to reflect on everything. You were able to forgive yourself and forgive other people, not for them, but for you. So you don't hold that baggage. And I was able to just let it all go to the wind and like be me for a change. And this is like the last 2 years have been my first time ever being me and liking who I am. So it's like all these songs are representing that end process. Now we're going to get to a song that's like at the beginning of that process, which was Moonwalker.
Yes.
And
That's what I was.
Moonwalker, mhm. But I'm
That's
gonna
what you
let you
meant.
go.
Yeah. What was it like creating Moonwalker, as you have just mentioned about Moonwalker?
Yeah, Moonwalker was at the point where I'm physically inside of um how, how can I put it? I was inside of chaos, for lack of a better word. I was inside of a lot of unsureness, and I was actively allowing another human to manipulate me, to exploit me, to like, because it's like when you hear him say it in the song, it's like almost uncomfortable a little bit, and like you hear the beginning melody, and it's like, oh, it's all good, and then he's telling someone like, you should exploit me, because I'm allowing myself to be exploited at this point by other people. And it's like I'm to a point where it's like it's not fine with me, it's eating me up inside. I'm like screaming out for help, like, because I have some, and I don't want to trigger anyone, but it's like I burned myself, like during like the times I was making that song, burning myself with cigarettes and like drinking. It's like I'm knowing, it's like I'm finding myself being an actual alcoholic.
Yeah.
And it's like trying to numb pain. And it's like, but why are you in the situation that you're in if it's so painful? And it's like to a point where it's like, dude, you're killing yourself. And I'm making that song. It was like a friend owned a really fancy studio, and he just allowed me to just come in there and just record. But he had like his own professional line of clients that he was like, but sometimes he would move those clients out, like, hey, he needs, because he's knowing I'm only just coming here to like release pain. It's like I'm not even trying to go the professional route at that point in time. And it's like I'm just trying to get out this pain, dude. Like, let me just get on the microphone, and like stuff like that was coming out, like Moonwalker, and they're like, hey bro, this song is really good. Like someone wanted me to sell that song to them, but I was like, it probably wouldn't connect with you as well as you think it will, because it's so personal, and it's so like it's at that point, it's like I couldn't see the sun, couldn't see a positivity, and it's like I'm mentioning that within the song if anybody cares to listen. But that's the meaning of the song. It was just this utter sadness and the exploitation of a human. Because I mean, it could be a double meaning with that. It's like Moonwalker, as in Michael Jackson. You feel me? Being an
Yeah.
exploited artist, and it's like me being exploited as an artist, as a human, as that gravity of that, and what it actually means. Instead of like, yeah, we're here to entertain people, but there's pain behind most of this stuff that we're listening to.
So on to my very next question for you. So you've also created a song called Top of the Game.
Mm.
What was it like creating this song, and what's the meaning behind this song?
Top of the Game is like you ever been in love with a woman, right? And it's like you've seen me at my lowest, and it's like this is my last attempt of showing you like, hey, I'm better now. Hey, love me, notice me, type. Like, it probably doesn't sound like that, because it's like, but it's showing you like someone reminiscing about all those things. and they're only looking at the joy of it. But that's why the sequencing of the album is so like, putting it into context means everything. So when you see the context of the entire album, Base God Machiavelli, it was like, it's like the beginning of the relationship, middle of the relationship, the complete end of the relationship. And that's why you have Feels Good to Be Alive all the way at the end of it. Because it's like showing people, it's like at the beginning, it's like it starts off with a song like Hail Mary, and then it goes into a song called Stranger. So it's like you dive into something, and then boom, you still realize you and this person are strangers. Like at the end of the day, like I don't know you as well as I think I know you. Then you keep going into Base God Machiavelli, you'll get to Top of My Game, and it's like leaving that relationship, that person seeing you, or just being noticed. And it could be a myriad of things. I'm just giving you the personal reasons, but like it could mean like someone at the top of their game in the music industry, and it's like something you can give, but it also gives like a lot of trauma in there too. And like most of these songs are just like me having a bird's eye view to a person's trauma, and like telling everybody else about it, for lack of better terms.
So on to the very next question. So what made you decide as a person, and especially as an artist, to get into singing in the first place?
Like, yeah, I was going to give you like the complicated answer, but I'm gonna be so straightforward with this one. Like, it's probably my mom. Like, my mom was like, when I was in the Louisiana mass choir, she sung in the mass choir, and she like basically like signed me up for it, like as a kid. And I was like, didn't really know what I was doing, but it's like, I mean, it's fun. Get to be in choir rehearsal with a bunch of grown-ups, and it's like we're just singing, and I was able to do that. And it's like I said, she was really eclectic when it came to music, because at one point she was like, she went through different phases of just different things. So it's like one day you'll hear her like listening to something when she was a kid, then you'll hear her throw on Lauryn Hill, but then the next day she'll throw on the Red Hot Chili Peppers or something. And it's like, and she would always sing along with the music. So I was like, learn those songs just because I wanted attention from my mom. And then you'll learn these songs and like sing them for her and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, I really like the way you sing. And that means a lot to a kid, I guess. So it's like she's that main driving force that made me just want to be a musician. Now later on, it like mostly became about competition, because being in like the hip hop space, it's like everything is about who can get off the best bars. And especially where we were, it's like every young kid rapped. So it was like, okay, so who's going to be the best among us? And that competition drove me insane, like every night. But it's like, it's a it's a double-edged sword. It can like stop you from going to a lot of parties, and also it can like keep you out of a lot of trouble. So it's like I was mainly in the, like my whole adolescence growing up, it's like I'm always in the studio, like almost to it, because I had to be better. Like we had to be like, who's the best? So that's a main driving factor, like the spirit of competition.
So I have to ask, like, what does performing music like mean to you? Like, especially as an artist, like when you're performing, like, and you're performing one of your songs, say, what does it mean to you when you're performing, like, in front of a crowd?
Mm-hmm.
And
Man, it's
and the connection too. Like, the connection is a very vital part of like being
yeah,
an artist. Like, what does connection to?
man, it's like that's like that driving factor, because it feels so great. It's like it's better than most other feelings in life. Not to be like cliche about it or anything, but it's like it has that same the butterflies in your stomach effect, you know? And it's like these people are like, even if these people never heard of me, it's like they're like, I have like the opportunity to change their mind and put them inside of a world that's just mine. And if you've ever just seen like someone just in a show and it's like the vibe, it's like, I don't know if you watch anime, but it's like
I've seen a
JJK,
bit of anime.
yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, where it's like they cast something called domain expansions. And it's like some of these artists just have that domain expansion, and it's like now you're inside of their world. And being an artist who like tries to give that type of performance is like, okay, everyone is going to be connected to me. Everyone's going to be connected to each other, and it's like positive energy going around.
Yeah.
Like those, like it's something you really can't put into words, but it's like you know it when you're in the midst of it. It's like transformative. It's almost like spiritual in a sense.
So with like performing, if you could like work with any top 3 music artists in the music industry, who would they be and why?
Man, this is an amazing question. Such an amazing question. But it's like, mainly, I think I would love to like. There's like a few artists, but it's like, I'll be too intimidated to work with them. So it's like for my choices, I want to just like pick exclusively like um producers, but also who can like, come on stage with me. So it would be mainly the artists I would work with are like Pharrell, just to produce some stuff for me, you feel me? Like give me those Pharrell drums. Travis Barker, because his like musicality is just amazing. Like his songwriting, his production, it's like amazing. And I would want to work with the legendary Rick Rubin. Like he's up there for me. It's like you produced the Beastie Boys, man. You're uh heaven sent. You produced LL Cool J, dude. Like you're hip hop. So I would love to work with him. And even though he's produced for the Strokes, and I
Yes.
would, I want to whatchamacallit, just throw in there just because I mentioned them. Boom, Julian Casablancas. I want to work with you. Like he would be one of those main artists that's like, that man's voice is beautiful. But I digress.
So on to my very next question for you. So if you could go to any country in the world, like tour, where would you want to go to and why?
Hmm. Hold on a second. Something just came on.
No, all good.
Oh. If I can go to any country, man, this is such a good question. There's so many good countries to choose from. I think and I'm gonna be so real. I probably would just like go to like some European country. Like to be real with you, I'd probably like get a map and like get a dartboard and just it lands in a European country because from there I can just backpack all across it. But oh man, that's such a good question. And I had an answer for you, but it's like 5 minutes
There's so many
after
countries.
I
There's so
thought of the
many.
answer, I was like, no, this
Yeah.
is too good. Like, I would love to go to Germany. Would love to go to Germany. Like, my great great grandmother is from Germany. She came
Okay.
to the States in World War One, and I would love to just see like the place she came from. Like, and just to even wonder and step in her. She was like, why would you just come to America? Just looking at the place and seeing how it looks, but I would like to go to Germany.
So on to my very next question for you. So if you could give your younger self advice, like looking back over your time in the career of music, if you give your younger self advice, what would your like advice be to your younger self? And if you could go to any decade in time and space, what decade would you want to go to and why?
Oh my God, this is such a great question, man, dude. Like, oh man, if I could go, I want to answer the last question first, and the first
Yeah.
question last. Okay, the the deck. If I could time travel, Oh my God, that would open up a big can of worms. But I think I would go to like, I would want to be like right there at the cusp of like 1978, 79. I want to see like the beginning of punk. I want to go to CBGBs and like see the Bad Brains perform for the first time. And I just want to just soak it all in. Like certain, yeah, I think I would land right there. 78, 79, early 80s. Like, just drop me off right here. I'll see y'all again one day. Like,
Yes.
let me see. And, hmm. Any advice I would give to my younger self? Stop rapping completely, stop making music, and go and be a lawyer or doctor or something, man. No, I would tell him to never stop. Just never stop. Like, things are gonna get hard for you, but just keep going. And that'll be like the best advice I can give him. Because he'd understand as he's going through everything he's going to go through. Like, just don't stop. Because at points you feel like you want to give up. I felt like I wanted to give up a lot. And it's just like, I thank God that I just didn't stop going. And I just kept pushing through it all. Hell,
So,
that's advice I need to give myself right now. Like, just keep going.
yes. Just keep pushing through those challenges, and you'll make it
Yes.
through anything. So, on to my very next question. So, if you could give like upcoming artist advice on wanting to start out in the music industry, what advice would you give to upcoming artists?
Shoot. Boom. Mm. No one's your friend. It's no one's business to teach you business. And get you a strong, have a strong foundation morally, and and have a have a great team surrounding you. With those tools, I believe anybody can make it in the music industry, to be honest with you. And like do it on their terms. Like it's 100% possible, because it's like all you got to do is just learn the business that you're going into. And like, I mean, know why everyone is in the position they're in, understand what your position is going into it all. Because it's like a lot of people are very disillusioned to what the music business actually, it's just like the acting community. It's like they don't really know what acting actually is, or what these industries are. It's like, just know everybody's not going to be destined to like be Miley Cyrus or this award-winning artist. Like, you can still win awards. A lot of people might not know you as much as they know Rihanna or something, but I mean, you're still going to be making money. So, and here's another thing I want to tell younger artists: make sure, unless they're talking a very, very good deal, but always like sign your publishing. Never sign your publishing and with the label that you're signing. Like, don't ever mix the two. Like, get your publishing separate from this label contract. So if they're asking for any of your publishing, like, keep your publishing. Like, it's going to be your bread and butter at the end of all of this.
So, on to my very next question. So, with like the positive and negative side into the music industry, like how do you get through those like negative moments as an artist?
Ooh, that is an amazing question. That's a great question. I would say always keep your cool. Like, in some moments, even if you can't keep your cool, it's like, just don't fly off the handle. But it's like some moments you might not want to keep your cool, and it might not be appropriate for you to keep your cool. But it's like, for the most part, just like keep your cool. Think about everything that you're trying to do. Think about those next moments. Think about what you're going to say. Think about the conversations that you're going to have. Like, think it out before you do anything rash. Always because it's like, there are more negative moments inside the music industry than there are positive moments. I guess that's where the whole concept of like you toast like once a year or something, or it's like something very, because like those good moments don't happen as often as you would think. You're always working towards those good moments. So it's like there's a lot of bull crap in the middle of that. And you gotta keep pushing through it, you know? And you gotta keep on. So it's like just understand it's par for the course. And it's like anything that you're facing, you can deal with it. It's always an answer to every problem in life. So you can like get to that answer like very much so easily. And that's life, music industry, music business, um, any other financial businesses, because like you're gonna have all that. Is like, okay, once I remember, it's like this accountant I had and he stole like a lot of money from like me and my parents, and it was like crazy, like, and he was like supposed to be there to help with the money, and he ran off with the money. It's like problems like that you're going to have to deal with, especially if you start making a lot of money in the music industry. So but it's like everybody goes through it. So it's like, don't feel like, oh, this is the end of my career or this is the end of everything. Like, it's a process. It has ebbs and flows.
So on to my very last question for you. So, like, what's next for you for the rest of 2024? What would you like to announce on the show, like music-wise? Are you releasing new music?
Ooh, I'm glad you said this. I am working, and I know someone like you would appreciate this. It's like a few years back, I got inspired by Prince, and he did the Batman '89 album. So I was like,
Yes.
if you guys remember, and those who understand and know, like how like I had like a bunch of like old Jimi Hendrix like jam sessions, and I was like, I've been cutting them up for like years. It's like, I'm gonna make this into a beat or something like that. Been cutting them up for years. Got into like some old like Black Sabbath recordings and got like some like instrumentation from it, and I put together, it's like I just finished it. I've been working on it for 2 years, but it's like the concept comes from like, it's a myriad of things. It's like Prince's Batman '89, and I don't know if everybody knows this, but Tim Burton was going to come out with a Superman movie called Superman Lives with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
So I actually have that like as like the album artwork, but it's like the picture of Nicolas Cage, and I did a Superman Lives album of just old Jimi Hendrix and Black Sabbath recordings. And like I just made like 9 songs with it, and I just finished it. So hopefully people will be getting that very, very soon. It's called Superman Lives. It was inspired off the Tim Burton and Prince. And I'm like, put all those influences together in one pot and made this. And hopefully people like it when they hear it one day. I'm probably going to send you like an exclusive, like, Dropbox with all the songs in it and how I'm going to try to format everything. And hopefully you like it, but I'll let you listen to it. And maybe one day I can come back on the show when I release it and tell everybody, like, from song to song what everything means, what like how people want people to feel when they're listening to it, like. But it's a great body of work. Like my I just sent it to mastering like 3 days ago, so it's getting mastered as we speak. So hopefully I'll be able to release that in like the next year or two.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to join my show. It has
No,
been
thank
such
you.
an incredible chat. Like,
Mhm.
you have been such a great guest, like, deep in meaningful chat, like, talking about music, talking about your amazing career as an artist. Like, thank you so much again.
Yes, thank
Um,
you so much,
any, no, you're very welcome. Any last final thoughts that you'd like to share to people on the
man.
show?
I just want to say it's an honor being on your show. I'm just so glad that you like you sharing your platform with me. You're like being such a gracious host. I've watched like my fair amount of the Galaxy Man show, so it's like it's such an
Thank you.
honor just being here. It's just like a few I've have music on my playlist, just artists you have highlighted. So it's like it means so much being here, and it's like just like I'm trying to be an inspiration. I want you to know, like, you are a big inspiration to people. Like, you're inspiration to me, and it's like you're one of those representations of keep pushing through that I see here in our small community, you know. And it's like, even when you don't think that like the things you're doing is affecting people, it truly is. Like, you are a big inspiration to all of us, you know, and it's like a great example. So I just thank you so much for having me here. Boom. And just, man, just thanks from the bottom of my heart.
No, all good. I just want to say thank you so much again. And that actually really meant a lot what you said about my show and the Galaxy, man. That's what I'm here for, to support people, to inspire people like myself. Like, I have autism that I should probably mention more of. And that's why I want to like inspire people like myself who have autism to follow their dreams, follow their goals, and just be themselves. Like, follow your passions in life. And that's why I did my Galaxy Man show in the first place, to support artists like yourself and to support actors that need help. So, yeah.
Let's go! Lord knows as I go through the emotions, everything I spit high potency. I can't focus, I soldier, I'm hoping that you notice me. I can't blow this, roll it up and blow these trees. Yeah, came from the bottom of the dirt, I heard some. All of that was moving purple like a savage. With a cool bitch, she past her prime, but she still getting nasty. So let me ash this blunt, I said. Walking through the park after dog, trying to avoid the madness. I do it for my dog like Lassie. Hot spit fire like dragon. My goon shoot, then toe tag him. Aggie, it's the magic, I think it's aggie or not. I ain't bragging, I'm taxing them. Hot shit, get out the pot. I called you last week, I was rolling Bobby Lee on Mad TV. I kept it G like the alphabet, stay your beastin'. Yeah, tougher than concrete, you bastards don't see. These niggas is weak, I'm like Moses, Paul with C. I stay official, what does you mean? Keep the eye, put your ass in the crease. These niggas leeching, I'm the dog off the leash. Big gangster, the gun in my jeans. Kept it trill like weapon, I'm cranking. Spinning on me, a nigga sleep. Wake up small like Biggie. Come to find out, it was all just a dream. I'm lucid, niggas still trill like boots. And I'm going through the motions, peep the blueprint. Trying to run the world like the Jews. Money made me like the Rothschild. My niggas drill all in New York. Pop smoke, my niggas float like a boat. And this shit stayed potent, I ain't even roll this shit. I stayed focused, hit another dose of the copium. I can't cope shit, I can't cope.